Now, in our previous session, we had done aids to trade, types of aids to trade. Now, in this session, we are going to do interrelationship between trade, commerce, and industry. Now, interrelationship between trade, commerce, and industry. Trade, industry, and commerce are elements of business. As you all know, trade implies buying and selling of goods and services to earn profit, and it is a part of commerce. And commerce consists of trade and auxiliaries to trade or aids to trade, and it is concerned with distribution of goods and services. Now, industry is concerned with production of goods. Now, all these three, that is your industry, commerce, and trade, are closely related to each other. They all depend upon each other for fulfilling or realization of their objectives. As you know that industry produces goods which are distributed by commerce. The commercial activity will be meaningless, will be of no use if there is no industry. If the industry does not produce the goods, commerce will not be able to distribute the goods. So we can say that industry is the backbone of commerce, and commerce is a lifeline of industry. As you can see, just to give me a minute, some child is waiting. Okay. Now, as you can see that industry is the backbone of commerce. Like without production of goods, we cannot do trade. We cannot distribute anything. Similarly, commerce is lifeline of industry. Now, trade is necessary and it gives support to the industry and also helps in smooth flow of commerce. So trade and commerce provide support to industry for the smooth flow of goods from producer to the consumer. So we can say that trade is a nucleus. Nucleus means around which all the commercial activities revolve. Trade is where all the commercial activities revolve around the sale or exchange of goods and services. So there is an interrelationship between trade, commerce, and industry, and a high degree of dependence on each of them. If even one is not present, the other two will be of no use. Am I clear, children? Yes. So I'll just repeat it again. If the industry does not produce goods, trade and commerce will be meaningless. They will not be able to buy or sell. They will not be able to distribute goods. If the commerce is not there, even if goods are produced, there will be nobody to distribute the goods. If industry and commerce are there and trade is not there, there will be no buying and selling. So all three of them are dependent on each other for proper buying and selling of goods and services. So this is interrelationship between trade, commerce, and industry. Now we'll move on to the next thing, that is your difference between industry, commerce, and trade. What is the main difference between all three of them, which we have covered up in this chapter? Now the first is meaning. I'm sure you all are aware of it. Industry is related to extraction, reproduction, processing, and construction of useful products, whereas commerce involves all the activities which are concerned with distribution of products, consumers, whereas trade is related to buying and selling of goods and services. Now, scope of all three of them. Now, the scope is, one second. Okay, the scope is, industry consists of all activities concerned with only production of commodities, whereas commerce is related to trade and aids to trade. And trade is consisting of activities only purchasing, involving purchasing of goods and services. Now we come to the amount of capital required for each of them. In industry, the amount of capital required is very large for large scale industry. For commerce, the capital required is comparatively less as compared to industry. For trade, the capital required depending upon the stock which you want to keep. For example, if the trader is a small trader, he will keep less stock, so the capital required will be less. But if the trader is quite a large trader, he will be requiring to keep large amount of stock, so the capital required will be more. Then we come to the risk involved in all three of them. In industry, there is a greater degree of risk involved. In commerce, comparatively less risk is involved. And for trade, again, it will be less risk involved. Now the fifth point, that is nature of utility. Nature of utility means I hope you all remember we had done 4 types of utility: form utility, time utility, place utility, and possession utility. Do you all remember that? We had discussed in our previous class. Okay, now industry, first is industry creates form utility. That means converting of raw material into the finished goods. Then we have commerce. Commerce creates time and place utility. Can anybody tell me how, what do you mean by time utility? How time utility is created? Please raise your hands. Who can tell me? Please raise your hand. We had done in a previous class. How does commerce creates time utility? I hope you remember there is a time gap between the production of goods and the sale of goods. Till that time, the goods are kept where? Till that time, the goods are kept where? Ishan, tell me the answer.
Warehouse.
Warehouse. Yes. Palak had raised the hand. I just saw it. Okay, Palak, can you tell me how does commerce creates place utility?
Ma'am, I don't know that. I know about time by creating warehouse so that we can store the goods, but I don't know about.
All right. Somebody has raised their hand. I can't see their name. It's 2 participants raising hands. Who's that? Raise your hand in the your camera. Palak, again you've raised your hand.
No, ma'am. I have lower my hand.
Who can tell me how does commerce creates place utility? How the goods are transferred from one place to the other? Through what? Yes, Vidhi, can you tell me how the goods are transferred from one place to the other place?
Transportation.
Excellent, very good answer. Yes, through transportation. So commerce is creating your time and place utility with the help of the warehouse and transportation. Okay, and then we come to trade. Trade creates possession utility. I hope you remember when the retailer is selling goods to the customer, he is transferring the ownership of the goods. That means the goods are given to the customer and in exchange the money is taken for that. So the possession of goods, it gets transferred from the retailer to the consumer. So trade creates possession utility. Am I clear? All right. Now we come to the last point of difference, that is classification. You all are aware of it. Under industry, we have 4 types of industries: genetic, extractive, manufacturing, and construction. Whereas in case of commerce, it consists of trade and aids to trade, or we also call it auxiliaries to trade. And the last one is trade. The trade are of 2 types. One is home trade and the other one is foreign trade. Can anybody tell me the 2 types of home trade or domestic trade? Who will tell me 2 types of home trade? Ved, can you tell me 2 types of home trade? We have done in the yes, Ved.
Actually, I don't remember, so ma'am.
One child raised the hand. Please unmute yourself and give me the answer. Yes, who knows the answer? 2 types of domestic trade. Palak, please tell me the answer.
Ma'am, wholesale and retail.
Excellent answer, Palak. Good. Now, who can tell me the 2 types of foreign trade? Ashutosh. 2 types of foreign trade. Who can tell me 2 types of foreign trade? Bhumi. That means you people are not going through the notes which you have been given. Yes, Rudra.
Ma'am.
I think Rudra has raised his hand. Yes, Rudra.
Ma'am, I know the answer.
Who's that?
Ma'am, Shreya.
1 minute, Shreya. Yes, Rudra.
Ma'am, import trade, export trade, and interport trade.
Excellent answer, Rudra. Correct answer. So, children, I want all of you to please brush up yourself, go through the notes we have done. I have given you. In the month of May, you're going to have a small test of your first and second chapter. So please go through all the notes which I have given you. The the pictures of all the notes and do the question answers properly. Am I clear? Okay. All right. So we have done the classification, and we have done 6 differences between industry, commerce, and trade. Now, after this, our chapter is over. We have finished the chapter. The last topic in your notes, that is 2.10, is not in the portion. Please cross that.